Welcome to lesson number 4 of the Foundations of Reading test prep video series, proudly presented by foundationsofreading.com. I'm going to go to my prep to get logged in. We have, in lesson 1, completed the about the test, looked at the exam overview. Lesson 2 was actually taking the diagnostic practice test. In lesson 3, we worked on chapter 1 of the workbook. And in this video, we're going to be working through chapter 2 of the workbook. You can recall from the first lesson that chapter 2, or it's chapter 2 in our study guide and prep program, but this is actually considered the exam competency from the Foundations of Reading agency who creates the test, and it's called Development of Reading Comprehension. It's worth 27% of your exam. This is an extremely important section. So if you don't have access, please go to foundationsofreading.com and let us help you get totally prepared quickly and easily. Now, just like we did in the previous lesson, you and I will be completing this section step by step with no steps skipped, going over all of the key fundamentals in this part regarding reading comprehension. However, your brain is engaged. When your brain is engaged, you will learn better. And so although this video will be a helpful resource, it's most important that you actually get access to this and you complete the workbook, as well as, of course, read the study guide, which we won't be doing together. The workbook is based off the study guide, but it is the interactive version of it. Okay, let's begin. This is about objective number 5. And it leaves off from the previous lesson that we completed together earlier. And what we're going to be doing is starting off with vocabulary and academic language development. So as an effective teacher, as a professional educator, we need to know the different tiers of vocabulary. And so this first exercise asks us to match each tier with the description. So let's go ahead. We see we have tier 1, 2, and 3. We have to read these sections here. Now, let's go ahead. The basic conversational words most students know from oral language by school entry. Think dog, run, happy, table. That is tier 1. High frequency words used across many academic subjects. This is the most important tier to teach because students do not use these words together like in the lunch cafeteria or on the recess yard. They don't use analyze, significant, contrast, evidence. So we need to directly and explicitly teach them. Those words would be tier 1 words, dog, run, happy, table, etc. But the reason that tier 2 words it's the most important tier to directly teach is because, for example, the word like analyze, we can use that word no matter what subject we're teaching. So whether we're in English language arts, we're in math, we're in science, we're at PE, we're in music, we can use words like analyze, significant, contrast, evidence, so on and so forth. There are many of them. Whereas, so this would be tier 2. Whereas tier 3 words, these are low frequency domain specific vocabulary. So it's really only used in one area. You can think, for example, photosynthesis. So although this is also not taught really informally from peer to peer, we still need to directly and explicitly also teach tier 3, just like we do with tier 2. The difference is that tier 2 can be used across many subjects, whereas, for example, we don't use photosynthesis in math. That's a science term, right? Equilateral, we don't really use that in history. That's just math, right? So although these are also important, the reason tier 2 are important because they are so widely used. Okay, so let's check our answers. 3 out of 3, we're good to go. Let's keep going. Classify tier 1 and 2 words. Contrast, evidence, happy, significant, analyze, dog, table, run. Is it tier 1, tier 2? So it really takes the first exercise and double checks your knowledge. So contrast, tier 2. Evidence, tier 2. Happy, Tier 1. Significant, Tier 2. Analyze, Tier 2. Dog, Tier 1. Table, Tier 1. Run, Tier 1. There we go, and let's check it, and we are good to go. So, next up, we need to match context clue types. Match each type to its description. We have definition, explanation, restatement, synonym, opposition, syntax, grammar, contrast, antonym. So again, take a moment if you're watching this video. Don't just passively consume this information. Pause the video, try and sort and list the correct content clue types with the sentences. So the author directly states the meaning of the word in the text. What's that going to be? Directly states is definition. All right, definition placed immediately beside the word. That is, let's see here, what else do we have? Set off by commas, dashes, the etymologist, a scientist who studies insects. Okay, that would be, what am I going to go here with? Opposition. There we go. A place or phrase with similar meaning appears nearby. Appears nearby. She was, okay, reading this. What are you going to choose? Okay, so notice here how talking stopped. Everyone grew tired. So it says the same thing. That's a restatement. There we go. The opposite meaning is used. That is the antonym. The words, grammatical role, and position in the sentence provide clues. Syntax, grammar. Let's check it. 5 out of 5. Nice. Let's keep going. Vocabulary strategy and primary purpose. So what we need to do is we need to match the vocabulary term right here with the sentence. So, student-friendly definitions. Reading this. Again, pause the video before I just work through it. Believe that's right there. Semantic mapping. Reading this. What are you going to choose? Connect a word. That looks good. Here we go. Morphological analysis. Morphological. Okay, here. Use verb. Oh, yep, right there. Okay. And wide reading. Yep. Build vocabulary through high volume reading across genres. Reference materials. Learning tools. Independent. Yep, that looks good. Let's check. And we are good. All right. Literary text comprehension. 3 levels of reading comprehension. Match each comprehension level to its definition. You must be able to classify any given question or task by level. Okay, so we have evaluative, literal, and inferential. These are the 3 types of comprehension that you need to know for the foundations of reading exam. Let's figure out if we can match these accordingly. Understanding explicitly stated information. That would be literal comprehension. Reading between the lines, drawing conclusions from text clues combined with background knowledge is inferential, and making judgments about a text is evaluative. Let's check it, and we're good. Literal versus beyond literal questions. This exercise is asking us to classify each reading question. Literal questions are answered directly from the text. Beyond literal questions require inference or evaluation. So we need to mark all of these as being literal or beyond literal. All right. Do you agree? Would go beyond literal. Where does the story take place? Literal. How many characters are named? Literal. What did the character do after? Literal. What is the author's central message? Beyond literal. Why do you think the character chose to run away? So why do you think? Beyond literal, that's either inferential or evaluative, and we're going to put that there and check it, and we got 6 out of 6. All right. Next up, we need to match story grammar elements. So the job here is to match each narrative element, climax, setting, conflict, problem, theme, or rising action to its definition. The time and place of the story is the setting. The central challenge of the main character that the main character faces is that conflict conflict problem. The sequence of events building toward the climax is the rising action. The turning point, the moment the highest tension is the climax. And the central message or insight is the theme. Let's check it. 5 out of 5. Nice. Let's keep this moving. And here we go. Match reciprocal teaching for strategy. So predicting, questioning, clarifying, and summarizing, all really important. And what we need to do is put what the student does in the correct strategy. So let's go here. So predicting, which of these would be predicting? Remember, pause the video right now and put the match together. Predicting is makes educated guesses. Questioning is, let's see here, generating questions about the text to deepen engagement and monitor comprehension. Looks good. Clarifying is, which one is this here? Restates. Oh, restates would be summarizing, so I'll just put that right there. I can see this, and that means that would go there. Let's check, and we are good. All right, informational text comprehension. Match the 5 informational text structures: cause and effect, description, sequential or sequence, chronological, problem and solution, compare, contrast. Here we go. Describes characters, features, and attributes of the topic. Looks like description right there. Events or steps presented in time order would be sequence. Examines similarities and differences between 2 or more things. Examine 2 more things, compare, contrast. Shows how one event or condition causes another. That would be cause and effect. And finally, identifies a problem and presents 1 or more proposed solutions. Problem and solution. There we go. Let's check it. 5 out of 5. Thanks so much for your help. All right. And next exercise asks us to match the text structure with the signal words. We have text structure and signal words here. So which of these is chronological? Whereas we have got compare, contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution, and description. So what is because? Because goes with, let's see, that would be cause and effect. Next up, problem, solution, resolve, one answer is. So notice how these are the signal words. And which signal words does this match with? That would be problem and solution. Is, has, for example, such as, consists of, looks like, is characterized by, is characterized by. Sounds like a description. However, but, both, similarly, unlike, in contrast. So however makes me think compare, contrast. First, next, then finally is sequential. And let's check it. 5 out of 5. Nice. Okay. So our next exercise that directly fits with the foundations of reading test that we need to know and get prepared for is all about text features and locating, or locate versus understand. So looks like we have helps readers locate information. Okay, yes. Helps readers understand the content. So is headings and subheadings, where does this lie? This would be helps readers locate information. What about labeled? Diagrams, that would be helps readers understand. Sidebar is helps readers locate. I would say helps, there we go. Glossary, helps readers locate. Glossary, understand. Glossary is okay, I think the index would help locate, but the glossary would help understand because the definitions are there. Photograph, the photograph helps understand. Bold, italicized, could probably help maybe locate? I mean, you see the bold terms quickly, right? Table of contents. I'm kind of assuming that this actually goes there. Let's check it. 7 out of 8. Oh, the sidebar. So the sidebar helps understand. Okay, that kind of makes sense because there's information on the sidebar. All right, I got one wrong. This is why we get one wrong in the training module on the workbook here at foundationsofreading.com, not on the real exam. Next up, match informational text strategy. We've got purpose. Match each comprehension strategy to its primary purpose when reading informational texts. Another important part here, your actual Foundations of Reading exam will definitely check your understanding of informational text strategies. So here we have close reading, KWL chart. You'll recall that KWL means what do you know, what do you want to know, and what did you learn? And text-dependent questions and graphic organizer. So which of these is close reading? Take a moment here, pause the video, and find the fit. All right, read a complex text, close reading, KWL chart, activate background knowledge, text-dependent questions, and graphic organizer, visual organization for information. Let's check it, 4 out of 4, and we're good to go. It is time for us to complete this lesson. Next lesson, we will be looking at Chapter 3, all about reading, assessment, and instruction. If you appreciated this video, thank you so much. If you want access to the diagnostic practice test, the entire complete study guide, the workbook that we're currently working on, all of the practice tests, the flashcards, and all of the exercises and written responses, just go to foundationsofreading.com, and we are here to help make passing this exam simple.